It's reasonably short. Thanks for being here. You know, we interview people from all walks of life and doing things that are interesting to our audience, trying to be a little different than everybody else out there. And so now we're doing actors now, which is a cool thing. But we're not doing actors who you've heard of or you've seen interviewed 1,000 times. Jake Choi joins us now. Jake is on the precipice of really great things, and now you have a series, right? Single Parents. Tell me about Single Parents.
Man, Single Parents is a comedy on ABC, and it's really about these group of people that, in any other circumstance wouldn't really be together, but because they're single parents, they sort of band together to help each other stay sane. Right. Pretty much, because being a single parent is hard.
I'm a single parent.
You're a single parent?
Yeah, there's no comedy in it. No.
Yeah.
But no, I'm a single parent, and it's So it's something that I would be able to tap into.
Have you been watching it?
I have not been watching it. I've been out covering the election since it launched, so I do have a legitimate. I haven't watched anything.
Yeah, these 5 parents who are so different from each other, and they kind of become a family. Actually, like a secondary family, and the kids are very much part of the story too.
Right.
And sometimes they reflect their conflicts reflect what the parents are going through, and they kind of mirror or contrast.
Right.
And my mother was a single parent also, and
so you have that perspective that you need, right? I mean,
Exactly.
Acting is pretending to be something else at its very core, right?
Mm-hmm.
But having that background and having grown up as the child of a single parent probably helps Jake Choi in this job, right?
Yeah. One way or another, you can kind of empathize even more,
right?
I kind of asked my mom what she thought of the show, and she was like, it's very funny. And I'm like expecting her to sort of comment on the single parent aspect, and she's like, so you're gonna come out every episode? And I was like, yep. And she's like, okay, you're gonna get paid the same? And I was like, yep. She's like, okay, good. I don't really care about
so
anything
great.
else.
The parents' naivete is so great, right? When whatever you do as you're growing up, and I'm, as you know, I'm a parent too, and my son's younger. But when you call your parent and you tell them what you're doing, they have no concept. They have a macro, but they have no idea of the micro, right?
Exactly.
So my mother will say, I'm out on the campaign trail. Well, I haven't seen you interview Obama yet. It just doesn't happen like that, Mom. Right?
Yeah.
So there's that happens. So it's great to see that your mom. Is your mom? Does she get into your character? I mean, does she follow it, and does she tell you what to do? Any criticism or anything? That's good, right?
She's just happy that I'm a regular on a show, and that she doesn't have to worry about me starving,
right,
or not being able to pay rent.
Yeah,
and. I mean, my role, Miggy, he's very similar to who, I was in high school and college.
Right.
I was a sneakerhead. I used to wear all the cool streetwear and kind of talk like he talks.
Right.
Didn't have a baby. Not that I know of. But yeah, so I think she kind of just sees her son, younger version of her son, just on TV, and she's happy with that.
Which is fun for you. Tell me about your house. I mean, we're talking about your character, and I always think it's interesting to know where it came from. Is your mom first generation American? Is she immigrant?
Mm-hmm. My mom, my parents were immigrants from South Korea.
Okay.
And then my father left when I was 10-ish, around there. And but so my mom tried to, keep the house, culturally at least, very Korean.
Yeah.
And, but see, for me and my brother, that's a problem, because you go into the world and culturally they're like, oh, you gotta be American, you gotta do this, and you gotta be, individually outspoken and unique, and this and that and the third. And you come back home and she's like, no, you cut all that out. Cancel that noise. This is how we do it in here.
That's the story of America in a way, though, right? I mean, whether you're from Korea or Turkey or China or Barbados, you're coming home to a family that wants you to stay Barbados as much as you can. Right. But you're fighting to be American.
Exactly.
Has that, in a sense, as an actor, you're kind of acting a little bit too. Like you're coming home as this American kid and you're playing the part of the Korean son, and then you're going out into the world as the Korean son playing the part of the American kid.
Oh, and that's very interesting. Yeah, you are acting. And I get it. Like my mom, being an immigrant and not having family or roots in New York, in America, that's all you have, your identity, right? Your culture and your traditions from back in, in your country. And so you want to sort of pass that down to the kids, but you're only thinking from your perspective, but the kids are kind of being divided,
right?
And you have to come home and act like, you're sort of the obedient son, and then you go out there and you're trying to be outspoken and trying to be your true self, whatever that is, and it's hard, And so growing up, I always had this identity conflict, a crisis, so to speak.
And would you? Acting it wasn't something you wanted to do right away, right? And this wasn't.
No.
This was a later comeback, and okay, I'll give this a shot type of thing, and we'll get into that a little later.
Right.
What did you want to be before that?
When I was a kid, I wanted to. For a little bit, I wanted to be an astronaut because every other freaking kid wanted to be an astronaut, and I was like, yeah, I'll just go with it.
Right.
And then I wanted to be a veterinarian. But my parents actually got me, my mom got me playing golf. I was a golf prodigy.
Really?
Yeah, not a lot of people know this. I haven't really told anyone publicly. I was a golf prodigy. I played golf for about 2 years, 10 to 12, and they were thinking of sending me to school in Florida. Where they kind of breed.
Right. Yeah, golfers. I know they do that for tennis too. If you go to Florida, like you go to Florida to be a prodigy, or you go there to die, right?
Exactly.
So you were going to go down. You were going to be a golfer, and then what happened?
And then my friend came over and he was like, "Hey, the Bulls are playing. Let's watch this NBA game." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And he turned the game on. He's like, "Oh, Michael Jordan, yeah." And I was like, "Who's Michael Jordan?" And he was like, "What?
Really?"
He was like, "You don't know who Michael Jordan is?" And I was like, "No, but he's really good. He's exciting." And he's like, "Yeah, man, he's the best player in the world."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What is the sport?" He's like, "Basketball." And I was like, "I want to play the sport." And then so he brought me to the park near our house, and we just started shooting around. And pretty soon after that, I told my mom, I was like, "Hey, I'm quitting golf. I'm gonna start playing basketball." And mind you, like I was 11, and I was hitting 100, 120 yards, easy.
Wow.
Like with a driver.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that right now.
No, I certainly can't.
Two easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.